Well, welcome back to Van Helsing. And also, just before that title came along, I didn't know exactly what went wrong there, but oh well. Anyway, right, so welcome back to Van Helsing, as I said before. Now, last time we were on mission 11, in the middle of it, as well as having a go at some challenges in mission 11, which was, of course, making a success out of one challenge that was the most important one, that was called Time Attack, which was challenge 5, with all the skeletons destroyed without the time running out. As I said before, with that one, there's only a specific way I know how you can do it, was with getting the machine gun to do the job for you without having no troubles whatsoever in the challenge number 5. As well as, when I was doing the start of my last recording, I did start off having a go at challenge 3, which was the bloodbath, but I didn't have no flicking chance of completing it. As well as the bloodbath was basically to do with platform jumping on certain ones to get to a nice height without sliding off, or either jumping off, or either not get Van Helsing to jump on top of those platforms at all. Because in the middle, the liquid of the bloodbath can go up, up, up and up and up to reach Van Helsing, or you could easily just make Van Helsing jump off without saying, "Oi, you're not supposed to do that, naughty." But that's how challenge number 3 goes, if you're quite clever enough to complete it. As well as I was having a go at challenge 2 as well, which was defend the ring. But still, I didn't have no freaking chance of completing it either. And that one was basically about to do with owls that can just knock you off a defend the ring challenge, because it is a ring and you have to go and hope and pray that you can stay on the ring without being knocked off, which is what the owls are supposed to do, but you don't want them to, because you've got to stay on that ring for a good 30 seconds. But I never did it. I have done it a fair few times. But as well as you're wondering, what do you get when you complete challenge 5, like he said? Well, you'll get a cheat. And the cheat was Phil skin that I collected last time. As well as, of course, when I came out of the area with all the challenges up, it took me to a centre with a circle thing with a load of blood in the circle as well, with a platform where I had to do some jumping, with using the grab hook to pull myself up and up and up certain broken bits of a circle thing, like some steps, for example, because they are supposed to be steps, but it's supposed to be a great big circle of steps, but they're broken into several sections of steps. And then once I done with pulling myself up from there and there, what I end up doing was that well, I just got to a bridge with a load of statues, and also I was mentioning about a most important life, REPLENISH, that you could grab hold of in a little gap in between the bridge, which would have been on the left hand side of the bridge when you go through the door that leads to the bridge, and you can pick up the life, REPLENISH, for you to use as a thing to top your health bar back up, which is quite handy if you're having troubles staying alive, which is what Van Helsing can struggle to do if you manage to have a low amount of health to hold on. As well as when I did get to the other side of the bridge, we was up against a specific enemy, which was a vampire that was Demon, ALEERA, whatever that name is spelled to be. But it's supposed to be a vampire bitch that I killed last time. As well as today, we're going to have to do it all over again on hard difficulty, which was my plan I was going to do, as well as explain why you need to do it on hard difficulty, which I'll get to very shortly. As well as after I killed that demon, Van Helsing grabbed the thing, must have been a sharp metal thing or whatever it is, and slings it and get it to turn around, and then it goes straight in part of the demon's body. And then she was screaming and she was burning to pieces, and then she exploded. And then part of the scene that ends, Alison turns around and says Frankenstein. And then eventually on mission 11, I buyed 2 life, REPLENISH, and of course buyed 1 ammo increaser. Now the ammo increaser is to do with the light blue bar that can go up a certain size for you to do a load of damage with the weapons that you will have. And then that was that. And then mission 12 came up, which was the last mission that had to be dealt with, as well as with a circle thing that had a gate beside it that was guarding the light blue bar that can have it on the machine gun, which is what I grabbed last time. As well as got up some more steps towards Frankenstein, saved him, and got him free. And then Van Helsing was left on his own to fight up against the demon himself, which was Dracula. Yeah, I killed him last time, but he's going to be back again because we're on hard difficulty. And of course, hope and pray that I will show you how to complete it, as well as why. You can have to do it on hard difficulty anyway. You'll find out very soon. As well as you saw the scene where Van Helsing grabbed the thing, chucked it straight in Dracula's chest, and I said, did he die? Of course he didn't. As well as where you would have seen a scene that Van Helsing turned into a werewolf and bitten Dracula and killed Dracula, and then eventually Anna, and of course Frankenstein, and Frankenstein said quickly the antidote, and gave Van Helsing the antidote and gave his life back, and then Anna died, and then of course Frankenstein and Van Helsing had a nice conversation, and then just before the scene ended, those two disappeared, and then all the credits came all the way up, and I had a good conversation with you of me doing the game on hard difficulty and saying all about how the game goes and all bits and pieces. And so yeah, that is it. We are now going to continue on doing the game on hard difficulty today. So we're going to have to see how well this is going to play out, but we'll see how long I can last. Right, before I do anything else, now on the hard difficulty, with all the weapons you collected on either on easy or medium that you play on the game, and you finish any difficulty that you're using and finish the game on any of those two, you'll have all the weapons what you grabbed hold of when you save the game on your save that you did use. Save the game on top of the save you used, and then eventually the game will restart with all of the weapons that you've collected, as well as the ammo, and of course the size of the health bar, and of course the ammo bar, which would be the light blue bar. So yeah, you got every single thing apart from one thing, which I'll explain somewhere along the line, but I probably could do it in a little while. So yeah, right, so don't forget, we are on hard difficulty, and of course when I did this game for the first time on my first recording I did do, this is what happens in the start of the game, which is what you'll see today with me doing the game on hard difficulty. So it's going to be tough. So here we go. So Paris, France, 3 years later. And of course, Van Helsing himself, with his lovely hat. With his nice outfit. And everything else. Okie dokie, so this is where we left off with a nice red bar that has got to a massive size, as well as on the right hand side, as you can see, there's all sorts of weapons that is on the right hand side, which will be the machine gun at the very bottom, electricity weapon, the crossbow, shotgun and pistols, as well as the whacking sticks that makes that sound, as well as the saws. So what I'm going to do is stick to the pistols and the saw, and there's a specific reason why. I'll explain to you very shortly as well as possibly do the game as it should be, with just the pistols and the saws that you start in the game when you first play the game for the first time, as well as explain to you how you can get your red bar the size like I have got right now, as well as explain to you how you can get a light blue bar on the right hand side that you might be able to see where the weapons are at the moment, as well as you're going to wonder how do we use the light blue bar that I can just about see that you're on about. Well, you're going to have to use L1 and push that button just once to turn it on, as well as you can use it on the saws for the first time. So Thanos will do that when you hold L1. So L1 is always that button. But also, with the control layout, if you're not satisfied, what you want to do is go to the options and go to control layout with all sorts of things like vibration that you want off, and of course select control number 1, 2 and 3 that there is. I'm pretty sure scheme is the word, with scheme 1, 2 and 3. So what I'm going to do is go through the selection slots for you to know about. So scheme is basically got square, which is weapon 1, which is the pistols, and triangle is weapon 2, which is to do with the saws, as well as circle for check and grapple. Now the grapple is basically a hook thing you can use to put yourself across and swing across things, as well as you've got jump and dodge with an X. But I've always said that you might not want the weapon 2 on triangle, because it's not really comfortable if you not quite got your fingers in the right places to touch those kind of things, or if it doesn't sound very good, as I'm mentioning. As well as you've got L1, which would be on the right hand side with ALT weapon. Now that is basically on about your ammo, which is the light blue bar for you to use. That's what that is. And R1, which is aim, which is what you're always going to need to be up against your enemies with the pistols or the sword or any other weapon that you might have. As well as, like I said, I've completed the game, as well as doing it on hard, so I can have every single weapon to use whenever I want and however I want, as well as possibly do the game exactly how it should be. But if I need to use any weapon for a specific thing that needs to be dealt with, then I will, as well as you can as well. If you have a bit of a problem with specific things that you're still struggling with, then go ahead. It's not a problem. It's not cheating as such. As well as you've got L2, which is basically selecting whatever weapon you want on there, and R2, which is finish up, which is a finisher slot that can knock enemies' health all the way down, but some enemies' health does not go all the way down. Don't forget, I have mentioned before. And so those are the selection slot in Scheme 1. Scheme 2, which has got the weapons, which is the pistols for square. Jump and dodge with triangle. That is not a good selection, is it? Circle with the saws, which is weapon 2 again, as I said. check and grapple with X is always one that's still okay to have. L1, which is still with the ammo. R1, still with the aiming. L2, still with the selection of weapons. And R2 is still with finisher slots that will knock enemies' health all the way down, and some enemies' health will not always. Some enemies' health will not go all the way down. As well as scheme number 3, which is always my best way. I've always completed the game and all sorts of things. With weapon 1, square, grapple with the hook, triangle, as well as get Fallison to read things, which is what check is basically all about. And circle with a weapon 2, the swords. And jump and dodge X. And L1 with the light blue bar. R1 accuracy, and L2 selecting weapons, as well as R2 with finisher slot. So yeah, if you're not quite happy with each one of those, just switch it to whichever one you want with L3, or use the left or right D-pad button, or just use the L3 and push it towards the left or right. And once you want, and if you're happy with what you want, make sure you've got the done word in white, and press X, and then press select and exit with the word also in white, and then press the X button to accept it to be all locked into place, what you want it to be. Okay, as well as in the INVENTORY, you also have got your life, REPLEN, and ammo, REPLEN, as well as the speed boost as well. If you have completed the game with all the things that you didn't use previously on the last time you played it on mission 12. That is the final mission for you to do. Alright, so I've got everything that I need, as well as I'll explain a couple of bits and pieces as well. And last of all, I have picked up one sheet, which was Fill Skin from challenge number 5. Now, with the challenges, there are 5 cheats you can get hold of. And as I said before, I have completed 3 of them, which was challenge number 5, which will be the Fill Skin. Challenge 4 will be the GARGOYLE skin. And of course, challenge 1, which would have given me DWERGER skin, as well as there are over 18 more of those. There are 18 others in here, so you've got 24 in total. 24 cheats in total, as well as one at the very top. I've showed you what it does and how it works, but also what I'm going to do is show you where all the cheats are again, if you haven't seen all of my recordings I've done lately, as well as explain to you how these things work, as well as the top one that I'm on at the moment. With this one, I have shown you how it works, but once again I'm going to explain it to you once again. So when you grab hold of it, when you find it, what you want to do is basically turn the machine off, switch it back on, and get the game to load, and then hold L1 button, hold it in until the scene finishes. So once you've seen the scene that finishes, just like the scene that you just saw just a few moments ago when I said welcome back to Van Helsing, and then let go of L1, and then you'll have it, which I'll show you one day again. As well as what I'm going to do is show you also another weapon that you can get hold of very soon, because you want me to continue on without chatting too much about a load of shits that's not needed. But anyway, okay, so what you want to do is go straight ahead. Also, this thing in the middle that's got the little green colour that's on the black and white tiles, what they are god symbols for you to collect. And when you're collecting them, you can use those to buy things in Armory, don't forget. But, like I said, we'll move on.
Bonjour, monsieur. Welcome to Paris.
Show yourself, Dr. Jekyll.
Seems that memory of yours is getting worse, Van Helsing. The name is Hyde, remember?
Who's Hyde, you're wondering? Well, Hyde is basically the person that you have seen in the scene, which would be the one with the whacking stick, or the walking stick, shall we say. And well, he's walking around and picking up a whiskey glass and putting it towards a light or some kind of thing and making it bubble in the glass. And then when he drinks it, of course, he lets go of the glass and smashes it on the ground. And then he turns pretty much naked. Apart from, he wasn't fully naked, but yeah. As well as where you would have seen the Thanos and of course himself with his guns shooting through the window. Okay, right, so with this red colour right here that's on the floor. Now, that is to top your health bar back up to a size. But also, for the first time when you play it, the red bar would have been a small size. If you looked very close with all the gaps of the red squares are at the moment, with all those red squares, they would be disappeared, apart from the biggest size of those squares that's not supposed to be. That's the size you'll start off with in the game, and every time you progress through the game, it will get bigger and bigger, as well as the size, like I said, about without the red squares that you can see right now. The light blue bar would have been the same size, as well as there are 15 black squares for the red bar, and there is also 5 black squares for the light blue bar. Okay. Right, so if you want some more green stuff, that green god symbol, you can walk all the way around and around through this edge or archway, like a U letter, and just keep going round and around. And then what you want to do is go back round again, and of course there'll be a statue right over it, and you want to use the swords, press the circle to smash it, and go round again. Once you've got Thanos to walk in the right direction with L3, which is what you're always going to need to use in this game. And then you'll find another statue on the left for you to smash, as well as this is a test run. And what I mean by test run, it's basically allowing you to know what you can find out and how to use things and what the meanings of these different colours are for, and where you saw the triangle letter pop up by the gate, but also when you push the triangle, that sound will pop up and the gate is locked, as the word says, locked. As well as underneath, where it's going to say, I need to find some other way up, which is going to be up there to get to all the way up there. That's where it's going to say double jump, don't forget. But we're going to not do that right now, because you've got some statues over it with a chandelier, as well as there are 8 of those statues in total, but there are 4 chandeliers. So there's 2 on the left hand side, 2 statues on either side of that one, and another 2 over by this one right here. So that's 4, and 3 chandeliers, and another 2 to make, of course, 8. As well as, of course, you've got some more God symbol up there. As well as you can find some more of those God symbols, as well as a statue. And you're wondering, where are the rest of the God symbols are? Well, they're just pinned right in between these pillars. That's where you'll find them. As well as you'll be able to find some more on the left hand side as well. So make sure you grab plenty of these, because you're going to need it for a specific thing you might be wanting to buy in the game, basically. As well as you can go to this statue and press the triangle for Fasten to look at it, even though we're looking at it, and then press X, and eventually you'll find some more green God symbols. And now what you want to do is go straight up and push X 2 times and push L3 towards the right direction, which is L3 towards the left a little bit, and then R1 and triangle for that little orangey colour that you can see in the middle of the screen there, and pull yourself up with a grapple hook. As well as this is another gate. If you push the triangle, yeah, it's locked again, so you can't get that way. And that's where you got another chandelier, even higher than the other ones. As well as it's going to say grapple, swing, which is R1 again, accuracy, and of course triangle to swing across to the opposite side. That's where you're heading. And also what you want to do is just press X and let go every single button, and then you'll be all good. Okay, so that's a speech that you heard just a little while ago, when the person said, "It is I." As well as where it says, "Hide, remember?" And where is he? Where is he? There's the voice again.
Think will reveal your past.
My past is none of your concern.
Wouldn't you like to meet the demons of your mind? You're nothing but an empty puppet of the church. A marionette on a string. Let me help you. After all, I am a man of science.
You are a murderer.
Ah, the pot calls the kettle black.
I destroy only what is evil. You are one for the killing of 12 innocent men, 6 women.
4 children, 3 girls, and a rather nasty massacre of poultry. Yes, I'm well aware of my past. A man has to eat, doesn't he?
Not when he's dead.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Once again, you know what that means. Death. Death is coming. As well as I said before, this is a test run. Now what I mean by that is that it is to do with practicing with your pistols and your swords that you'll start in the game with. As well as I am on hard difficulty, so as I'm on hard difficulty, it's going to be twice as freaking harder for me to do, but I've had more experience and know how to do it, and we'll be all good. Well, I'll be all good, but if it's your first try of doing it, then it'll be a bit trickier. But as long as you're strong, easy, or medium, then you'll be fine. But if you've done it on medium and you want to do it on hard for a specific thing that you can get hold of, like I said, if you complete the game on hard difficulty, you'll get a specific thing. As well as, don't forget, I have said something else about you'll get something. And what I mean by that was that I fucked up on mission 5 on one of my recordings, and I couldn't get it. I couldn't get the specific thing. So this time today, or in these few recordings to go left, I'm going to hope and pray that I can complete the game without having one specific thing that you're always going to need Van Helsing to keep hold of, which is the hat. So yeah, that's the plan I'm going to try and hope and pray, is keep the hat. Because if you don't keep the hat, you're not going to get the specific thing. As well as the bit I have fucked up on mission 5 was that I lost the hat. As well as when I knew where the hat was, I got Van Helsing dead. So make sure you don't get Van Helsing dead when you know where the hat is and where it fell off from. Because otherwise, if you do, that's the problem. Also, just get my bearings back in while I'm doing this to get everything all tickly boo, and I think. Okay, right, so as I said, this is a test run, as well as it's going to say about weapon 1, square, or weapon 2 with a circle. So whichever selection scheme you used, it will show the same specific keys, and you just got to use those kind of things. As well as, don't forget, I said about the aiming. You have to keep that R1 button pushed in, permanent. As well as with the pistols, keep the square button pushed in as well, if you want to use those. But with the saws, what you're going to need to do is just keep pushing the circle in, out, in, out, in and out, every time when you're using them. Okay, but also what you can do with the saws, press X with the circle as well as the R1 button at the same time, to give you a good chance of doing a couple of jumps and cutting with those saws. So this is hide, so we're going to defeat him. As well as, once again, when you press the X, it will also give you some more information. Saying aiming, hold down your aim button R1. Okay, right, so here we go. This is hide, and he's got his own health. Also, he's knocked the health down already. So as I said, this is on hard difficulty, so I'm going to have to try and do some talking as well and concentrating at the same time. Right, also, what I'm going to do is now hold the L2 button in. Now, the reason why I've done that is if you look at the light blue bar, I also have sensed there's something going on here. I don't know bloody why, which is not what I don't want to happen. I might be just about okay. Right, now with that light blue bar, that would have been the same size as the red bar. Okay, so in the game, when you start the game, it will be having the red bar the same size as the blue bar, as well as the way to proceed of making the red bar bigger than what I've got. What you have to do is find life increases for that to happen, to make those black squares to be filled up in red, just like mine. Okay, so don't forget that, as well as I'll explain to you how that works as well soon. As well as don't forget, I will be going through the information of how the game goes, as well as with the film of what usually happens in the film, but this game does take some bits and pieces off it. Okay, so as far as I can tell, it looks like we're all okay. It was obviously just part of my screen or something. Okay, right, so I'm just going to have to keep looking at the same time and make sure things are in the right places. Right, now, there are boxes and barrels everywhere, in the left corner and on the right hand corner. Now with these things, you'll pick it up. What you want to do is just try and hide stuck in a corner or somewhere, which I'm planning to do, as well as try and keep my health up, as well as not knock his health all the way down at the same time. So I've got a contest on my hands here. Oi. 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 Hey, let me out. He says, fuck you, or something. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is just make sure that we're all okay. It seems to be okay. What happened there? So let's try it again. As well as when you die with your hat, it will still come back on, because you're in a mission to do, just like this one.
Are you still on that
So don't worry about that.
little quest? The one you think will reveal your past?
My past is none of your concern.
Wouldn't you like to meet the demons of your mind? You're nothing but an empty puppet of the church. A marionette on a string. Let me help you. After all, I am a man of science.
You are a murderer.
Ah, the pot calls the kettle black.
I destroy only what is evil. You are wanted for the killing of 12 innocent men, 6 women.
4 children, 3 girls, and a rather nasty massacre of poultry. Yes, I'm well aware of my past. A man has to eat, doesn't he?
Not when he's dead.
Well, he will be eventually. Especially explaining you a couple of things, as well as making sure the camera's okay and everything else. I have said before already. So yeah. Here we go then. You don't need to know all about this right now. Right, okay, so the best way you can deal with him on this side is make sure he's pinned against the wall or a pillar, which I would say is a pillar, as well as he has just got out of the way somehow. Where's my hat? There it is. Okay. And there it is. It's fallen off. Also, with the left hand side of these things that you can see right now, all you want to do is just keep moving around a bit and just try and get him to jump in the right places. As well as if you get these barrels and bottles smashed, you can always get some green or red. As well as, once again, once he jumps around the place like this, where he's got himself pinned in, what you want to do is just get him to stay still Also, the camera's doing something again, which is what I don't want it to do. But if it's going to carry on, then we might have to try and finish off this mission. And then maybe try and sort it out. As I said before, it is on hard difficulty, so it's going to be a bit more tricky for me to keep an eye on 3 or 4 things at once.
Are you still on that path?
Right, also, if you don't want the scenes again, you can just skip it by pressing the start button, and then you'll be all good. Okay. Right. So I'll just keep an eye on it. Right, as I said before, you can get him to smash the pieces up for you by basically getting to get to a pillar and wait for him to smash all the boxes and barrels, and then try and smash some for yourself if you can. You should be able to. Also, when you're doing that, while he's doing that, try and get to a corner so he can get himself stuck into another pillar. You just smash some more barrels and boxes on the right hand side, as well as, like I said before, with the ammo, L1 button that you're going to need to use, as well as with the circle button with the swords. Hold X or press X with circle at the same time, and also the R1 button, and just keep doing the same thing like I am, where I'm just getting stuck, pinned in. Also, what you want to do with the dodging, like I am now, doing rolls sideways and backwards and forwards in a way. What you got to do? That's so fun, awesome, you're getting stuck, man. Go on, boxes and barrels. That's green. And so I'm going to have a bit of a problem as well. Yeah. Right. You know the drill. So what I'm going to do is kick the fucking shit out of him. He's pissing me off. A little bit. He's just pissed me off a little bit. It's no problem. I can deal with it. And now I've got the ammo on, but it's not going to last long because it is damp. And the reason why it's damp is because I only had a little piddly bit before I finished the game on medium. So yeah, that'd be why. So yeah, don't forget, the barrels and boxes are on the right and the left side pillars. On the right hand side, don't forget where I said about getting yourself in one of those pillars, and just do a couple of jumps from away from one and pin yourself into another so he can't get out, and just keep doing the same thing until you've just managed to get away with it. And so I'm going to keep an eye on his health as well as mine, as well as make sure and move out the fucking way. Oh fuck, nearly fucking did that. Oi, you did that again, did you? Oh, shit. Right, I'll tell you what. Right, if that happens, grab the hat, use the sword, and then you're all good to have it. But like I said with the hat, you're going to make sure you keep it on in every mission there is. As well as Van Helsing uses his sword with his right hand sword and his left hand sword and cuts Hyde's left arm off. Van Helsing gets slung up in the air with Hyde's arm, his right arm swinging him up against the roof on top of the balcony.
I think you'll find the view from here most
And
enchanting.
throws him down from a great fucking height, as well as Van Helsing uses grapple hook, slings it straight through his chest and bangs it on his back. Van Helsing to land nice and safely. How about that? And usually in the film, Van Helsing pulls him, and Hyde says, "My turn!" But in the game, he doesn't say that, as well as Van Helsing usually lands quite safe on the roof. And he goes straight through the window. As usually in the film, like I said, he lands on the balcony, and usually Hyde has his back against the floor, not his face on the floor, as you have seen just there. And I think it was just part of the start of the game where it's trying to get the scenes catched up or something, that's making it a little bit more tricky for you to see what goes in and out of the light blue bar and the red bar, as well as seeing Hyde's name not quite seeing very well, but it is there. So yeah, probably that's why. Or it's either just a darker area that's making a camera make it be a bit more see-through, or make it see it a bit more brighter. Okay, so that is the test run with 8 minutes 26 seconds. Best kill, there's only one. And shots fired, there are 104. Now with the shots fired, that is including the special guns that you use. Okay, so don't worry about that right now. As well as with MELEE, hits, that's to do with the source of how many times you whack an enemy with. And we've got 14 of those. Damage taken, that is the enemies or whichever one that they attack you. And we've got 72 from Hyde, which is not too bad, I suppose. Power, GLYPHS, 14,340. You're wondering, why have I got that so high? Well, if you finish the game on a certain amount that you did have, without spending too much, the number will still stay the same when you do the game again on another difficulty with a nice size just like mine. If you have got less or more, then that's fine, don't worry about that. As well as that power, GLYEPHS, is to do with the God symbol that you'll see in the middle of the red bar and the light blue bar. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, so finish with hat on. Yes, like I said, you need the game with every mission there is. Complete it with the mission saying finished with hat on. Yes. So yeah, if you haven't got any mission that says finish with hat on with a yes on it, then you're not going to get a specific thing. So I'm hoping and pray that every mission will have yes on it instead of having no, which is annoying, but it is what it is. And enemies killed, there is only one. Right, now you've got armory and continue there. As well as, like I said before, the armory is to do with a green God symbol that you can buy things, which I'll explain to you in a few seconds, as well as you've got continue as well. Now with those two, whichever one of those two you want, like the armory for example, you want to make sure the word is in white, which is what I'm going to go through right now. As well as if you don't want to go through armory, just push L3 down and press the X with the continue word in white. Okay, so with Armory. Now there are a fair load of things in here, but also there is a couple of things that I have buyed on loads of other missions I've done, as well as loads of other recordings I have done lately. So with all the things you buy and whatever you buy, they will be buyed and they will be sold, as well as some prices will go up, as you can see, where one that says life increaser, there's up the top there that's saying 1,000 at the moment. As well as what this will do is allow each one of those black squares to be filled up in red. So when you buy one square of the black bar will squeeze one of those into red, as well as it'll just keep going up when you keep buying them. But I'm not going to go too far into that at the moment, because next of all you've got Life REPLENISHUB, which is worth 500, as well as what it can do is top your life bar, which is the red bar that you start off with, or whatever size you had. You can buy one of these and you can use one of these to top your health bar back up. That's what they're for. As well as you can buy 3 of these whenever you want, especially if you have been using a couple of those. But also you don't have to buy them, because you can always get them in certain missions for free. So don't worry about that. If you desperately want one, then you can pay for 500 if you really want. As well as this is ammo increaser. Now I have bought a load of these in certain missions I've done, as well as the ammo increaser will allow the light blue bar to go even bigger, as well as with the life increaser, it would have been going even higher than the light blue bar. But the reason why it's not as low than the ammo increases is because I haven't been buying any. So with the ammo increaser and the life increaser, they both start with 1,000, as well as you can buy 5 of any of those 2 things you want. Okay, as well as you can see, the ammo increaser is up to 2,500. So first of all, with the life increaser and the ammo increaser, they both will start at 1,000. The next price when you buy another will be 1,500. Another one will be 2,000. Another one will be 2,500. And another one would be 3,000. As well as there are 5 each, as I said. So every time when you're buying one, the price will go up. Like this ammo increaser, that is 2,500 for me to buy the next one whenever I want. As well as, like I said, you can buy them whenever you want and however you want. Next of all, you've got ammo REPLENISHUB, which is also 500. As well as you can have 3 of those. As well as what this will do is top your light blue bar back up. And the reason why this is darker than the other 3 that I have read out is because I've already got 3 of those already. As well as the Life REPLENISHUB is what I can buy, but also with that one you can have 3 of those and 3 ammo REPLENISHUB, and also you can have 3 of the speed boosts. As well as this one's darker, just like the ammo REPLENISHUB, is because I've already got 3 of those. They won it. Why the fuck is it up to 800? Well, it is because you can run fast and get the weapons to go fast, where they're just going to go bang, 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 all the time. As well as you can have 20 seconds for all that fantastic stuff. But that's why it's up to 800. As well as, don't forget, with those three, speed boost, ammo, and life, REPLE, and I up, you don't have to buy them. You can always just get them for free when you find any of those three things. Also, you have got dodge fob that has been paid for, as well as it is going to be 1,500 for you to pay for, which allows you to dodge around the place, as well as get the weapons to go bang bang 2 times. And the way to do that is get the weapons, as well as the 2 weapons that will be underneath all the writing that's down there, which is the pistols, shotgun, and the crossbow. So each one of those 3 will go bang bang. And the way to do that is hold the R1 button, press the X and square together, and push L3 towards the left or right to do a roll left or right, and push the L3 down to do a back roll. And then those 3 weapons, or whichever one you're using, will go bang bang. Okay, so that's that. And you got grapple hook next. That is 500, as well as it has been paid for. So if you haven't paid 500 for this thing, what it'll do is just pull your enemies towards you, which is what this thing can do, as well as allow yourself to swing across platforms, as you see me swing across the chandelier. As well as when you do pay for it, this thing can be a bit more sharper for you to hurt enemies with. So it's 500 if you really want it, but if you haven't got 500 or not, if you haven't got 500 already, then you can't buy absolutely nothing, because the maximum price before you can be able to buy anything, you have to reach 500. Next, you have got Grand Strike that is worth 1,500, but usually in the game when you first play it, you'll roughly reach at least about 900 or 800, somewhere around there, for you to only buy a ammo, REPLE, and I touch out, or the life one of those things, or even a speed boost if you're lucky to have 800. Okay, but also this Grand Strike is basically to do with the swords, as well as going to say about hold R1, push forward, which is the L3 up, and perform a MELEE attack, which is basically the source to do a nice attack to strike and sometimes pop enemies that have fallen on the ground, which is what it can do. As well as you've got 2 Joe Fart, it's 2,000. So this is for the swords again. So it is 2,000 for the 2 Joe Fart, which is also going to say hold your 2 Joe attack, which is the circle button which is asking, to flying your 2 Joe BLADES, what they're supposed to be, at opponents. I'm pretty sure that's what OPPONENTS is spelled to be. Next of all, you've got air hop, which is to do with the swords again. Also, after holding the airstrike attack button, which is the circle button, to rise into the air, and of course it's going to say press a DIRECTION, whatever it's supposed to be exactly as well, and tap X to jump on thin air, which is what Fanassin can do with that. If you've got 1,000, also with this one right here, which is another weapon that you can get hold of, which is the name. It's going to be it's going to be SCIMITARS, which you can get in the middle of a game somewhere. But as I've done the game on medium and completed the game, I will have all that, would have already got the weapon, but I'm not going to use that right now. As well as it is worth 1,000, but also what you're going to have to do first which is where it's going to say after a grand strike, which is the one that goes to this one first. So you have to pay for 1,500 for this thing first, before this one will be allow you to buy it. As well, it's going to have hold R1, push forward, which is L3 up again, and attack with the weapon with the name of it. That's going to be SCIMITARS to perform a spinning SCIMITAR attack. So you're going to make these weapons to do a nice attack on enemies. So don't forget you have to pay for Grand Strike first, if you got the amount for Grand Strike first. As well as you got the swords again, which is MELEE explosion. I'm pretty sure that's what it can do, with EXPLOSION is spelled to be, I think. As well, it is 2,000, so if you start the game very first time, you won't be able to buy it anyway. As well as what it can do is a ring of ice or fire explodes. I'm pretty sure that's what EXPLODES from the last hit of your ALTERNATE. Well, the spells to be exact as well. And of course, ammo, which is the light blue bar, L1 bun, which is what you'll still have to start off with in the game. As well as the name of it, of course, MELEE. And of course, some combos for that thing to do. And last of all, you've got finisher slots. Now, in the game, when you first play it for the first time, you'll have 3 of those, as well as you can buy 2 more for you to knock enemies' health all the way down, and some enemies' health will not do exactly that. So the prices are for each one of those 2. Both of those things will be 2,500 for the first one for you to get 4. Also, you get another one to make 5 in total, and the price for the last one will be 3,500. So be very, very fucking careful when you're using those. As well as I have bought them already, so that's why it's going to say sold up. But I'm going to always remind you. And so yeah, that is that. Right, now we are now going to go to continue for a little while yet.
We need you to go to the east, to the far side of Romania. 450 years ago, a Transylvanian knight named Valerius the Elder allowed his son, Vladislaus Dragulia, to commit a great evil upon the world. As a result, a terrible curse was cast upon his house.
Dun dun
A
dun.
curse that cannot be lifted until the vampire is driven from their land. 9 generations have perished trying to break it. Only one survives. The Princess Anna. If she dies, the spirits of her ancestors shall never enter the gates of St. Peter. They will be forever damned. When we found you crawling up the steps of the Vatican half dead, it was clear that you had been sent to do God's work. God is not to blame for your past sins. But if you pass this test of faith, He will help you rediscover your past. Transylvania is a land plagued by tragedy. And Basiria, a village where you will encounter the dead far more than the living. Do not be distracted by these wayward spirits, my son. Find the village fountain quickly, for that is where the path to Dracula begins.
So there it is. Gotta find the village. And so that's what we're going to do. As well as, of course, where the path to Dracula begins. So yeah. Right, so don't forget, when you press the X button, well, yeah, goodbye train. again. As well as, don't forget, there's the ghost. As well as, yep, he's going to leave us in the lurch. Okay, so, now, don't forget, a barrel over there, 2 boxes for you to smash, 2 barrels over there, as well as jump over it, which will allow you to see some more words to explain to you that you can find boxes and barrels to smash to allow yourself to find some green god symbols, as well as I have shown you a couple of those with the person that I killed last time. So yeah, this is basically explaining you a couple of things, what you can find and what they do, as well as I'm going to explain to you those as well. Okay, right then, don't forget, there are boxes and barrels, as well as, don't forget, with this symbol right here, that you could do something with it. But if you can't remember, I'll explain to you soon. As well as what I said before, I'll explain to you where the things are and what they're supposed to be again, and then keep you top of the details and knowing what to do. Okay, right, so first of all, you can find some green gob symbols on top of this roof, as well as what you can do is jump on top of this fireplace or wherever it is, and also you'll find a chicken as a weather vane, a chicken weather vane, and you can use the saws to make it spin, so you can make the chicken spin, and of course get some green god symbols for you to grab hold of. I don't think I need too much, but yeah, might as well. As well as you got to jump on top of this thing to get some more green, which you'll be able to do. As well as what you want to do is go to the edge, where you'll find the orangey colour symbol again with the grapple hook that you're going to need. Also, the only way you can tell when you've got it, which would be an orange or a red colour, where the saws and the pistols that you'll have, if you just say you can do the R1 and triangle, which is what you want to do. And of course, go across towards this edge, over here, and do it again, R1 and triangle. As well as go around the top of this bit, as well as once this red bar's buggered off. Now, up here is supposed to be a life increaser that you can find up here for the very first time, as well as I have picked it up, as well as when you do that and do the game again, it will disappear and it will bring something up. And what's up it is a speed boost. So if you haven't got 1 or 2 of them, you can press the triangle and pick it up. But as I got through, what I'm going to do is press the triangle and show you what happens. Some more writing will turn up, and Van Alsten will say I can't carry any more. So yeah, you can't carry any more. Right, also if you stand in a high place, you think, flicking hell, is he going to die? Surely not like the Tomb Raider games, no way. But no, he won't die, so don't worry about thinking you might want to just plop down carefully. So don't worry about that. Because what happens, the red bar of your health bar will not drop all the way down. It will stay put. It will stay there for good. Okay, so don't worry about that. Right, now then. Usually, when you go round it, you'll find a box and a barrel. As well as, usually, behind this trolley thing, you can press the triangle for you to find a cheat But as I picked up the cheat, it will say I can't carry more, which will be to do with the ammo, REPLENISH, for me to pick up. I've already got 3 of those, as well as the cheat that would have been behind it, which would have been called Big Head. That's what it'll be. As well as, I'll show you what the cheat does when you find it. And the Big Head is slap bang in here. And yeah, the Big Head cheat that will be behind there for you to pick up will make Van Helsing look like this, with a massive fat head. How about that? If you had a fat head, then you can think quite a lot, wouldn't you? But yeah. Anyway. So yeah. Right, now then. With this thing right here, you're thinking, what's behind it? And can you destroy it? Well, you may have seen me do it before. And so yeah, you can destroy it. As well as you're wondering, how do you destroy that and what the fuck is in there? Well, you can destroy it, and you can destroy it with the saws. But also, when you see these things, they're always hiding something. So, the way to destroy this thing is push the L1 button just once for the ammo to go on, and press a circle to whack the saw to smash it into this thing. As well as, usually what's in it is a cheat that would have been called Ghost Body, would have been the one for you to grab hold of if you haven't already picked that up straight away. And so yeah, you'll grab that when you're always trying to find a way of getting hold of that. So there's that, as well as also I have just forgotten something. So yeah, Ghost Body is the one that you can grab hold of, which will do something to Van Helsing. Which is this. So that's what you can get hold of when you do that. Also, as I have picked it up, I'll find something else, which I thought it was a life REPLENISH, but nope, it doesn't exist. Apart from it's a ammo thing instead. So there you go. So if you want to know what that does, then you're absolutely welcome. Right, now then. So, when you go over it, you'll find a bridge that's been broken off, as well as this thing right here, as well as a yellow flashing light sitting there, as well as what you're going to need to do is jump down again, as well as this flashy light thing by here. You can press the triangle button to turn the cogs around and around and around. To turn this thing, just slam. Now that hook there, like I said, with a grapple hook, you can swing across things. So now you can swing across that. Now then, this thing right here. Now you're wondering, can you destroy that? Well, when you play this for the first time, you can't destroy it. Like I've said before, when I first did my first recording about this, you can't do it. But, as I said, when you finish the game, on a difficulty, whichever, medium or easy, or even if you did start on medium, and then did the game, starting the game on hard, you can destroy it. So now, you're wondering, how do you destroy that now? So, the way you can destroy that now is go and grab the machine gun and push the L1 button, the ammo that goes to it, and fucking smash it off. How about that? So you're wondering what is in there? Well, it's a cheat. As well as what I'm going to do is go back to the pistols because I don't need that anymore. Because I want to do the game just as the game should be. As well as you're wondering what cheat is that then? Well, you're about to find out. Right, so the cheat is now for you to grab hold of will be, let me just double check, it is this one right up here, but also I'm going to turn this one off, so it's this one right here, which is TRANSLUCENT body. Now you wonder, what the fuck does that do? Well, what it does, it goes to Van Helsing. It goes to him. As well as I'm going to have the box ticked. As well as when you do pick up a cheat, you'll have a box right beside the word of whichever cheat you grab hold of. And then what you want to do is press the X button. And then the tick will come on the box. Also, if you do die, the box will have the tick off. So if you do die, just remember the tick comes off. Also, if there's a specific one you really fancy a lot and you want to cheat, then go ahead and just keep tapping the X to keep it going back to have the box been ticked. So the T word, body one, does, let's try and get a perfect angle. Let's try and get fast. There you go. You might be able to see it. It makes fast and do this. So it looks strange. It's almost like you're a ghost and you can make yourself walk straight through things. There's something like that. So yeah, that's what that's going to do. But also, when you move towards this edge, the hook will point zoomed into the camera for you to say to yourself, ah, is that what I've got to do next? As well as R1 and triangle for the grab hook and swing yourself across, like I said. So you're going to need that to swing yourself across. And also what you want to do, when you swing close to the edge, press X, and then you'll prop yourself down. How about that? Nice and safely down. As well as you can do R1 and triangle over this edge by pulling yourself up towards more green stuff, because that's all there will be. Next, what we'll do is go over it, and you'll see Phallus and look like that, which is what that cheat does when you get hold of it. As well as you'll find a windmill that's going anti-clockwise, not like a clock, eh? Also, there's a skeleton, and yeah, they're going to come alive. There's not just one, there's 3 of them. So what you want to do first is press X straight away and push L3 towards the right direction you want to go, so you can avoid it, or avoid them without them hitting you. As well as it's going to give you some more information about dodging and all the other words that will be popping up for you to do some more practice of how you do things in the game. There you go. Right. And of course, X, and then it's going to say about the jumping and the roll that you can do with Van Helsing as well, like I have done with hide, with avoiding him and all that sort of thing that you can do in the game with these skeletons of other enemies you'll be up against. Also, I will be using this for a little bit longer. Well, just cheat on one of that. I'll just use it for a little while for you to know exactly what that cheat does, as well as give you an idea of what it can do, as well as how cool it looks. Also, you'll find some more skeletons that will apparate from the middle of nowhere, just like the Harry Potter films. So yeah, you'll get loads of these kind of enemies apparating, as well as when you get halfway across this bridge, small words will come up for you to know about what you can do to do all sorts of things, what you need to do exactly, and you'll be all good. As well as if you don't want to read all of this, just press X and skip it all, which is what I'm going to do. You've seen it before. As well as, when that sound drops, that means there's no more enemies. And also, over by the opposite side of the bridge, you'll find a life, REPLENISH up, for you to pick up if you haven't got one of those already. I have already had maybe one, I think. Right, now you've got a door or a fenced wooden gate over there. Also, you have got over by this side will be a gate, and when you press the triangle by this gate, well, a locked gate, it's going to say, so you can't go that way, so you have to leave that for now. As well as when you're up against those skeletons over by here, it would have a red colour saying, nope, I won't let you get past there. And so when you kill those skeletons, you can go back there. Also, as I said before, when you finish mission 1 and you haven't picked up the cheat that I've picked up, or if you haven't picked up the life increaser from where I've been from, and the other 2 cheats, which would be the ghost body and of course the big head from, you won't be able to go and get it, or won't be getting those at all. Okay, so remember that. And so, next, over by here, you can do R1 and triangle to pull yourself up. And what you'll find up here, a life increaser. But the reason why the life increaser is not here is because I've already picked it up. Also, what I am going to pick up is a life, REPLENISH up, which will be allowing me to use this to top my health bar back up if I really need it. So like I said, there'll be a life increaser up here, if you haven't found it already. As well as over here, this thing would have been a flashing yellow colour, but I'm not going to go too far into that right now. As well as you'll find a barrel. Also with this thing, you'll have a symbol on it. Anyone in? Can you destroy that? Well, there's only one way. Because you can't use the ammo with the swords, or even the ammo with the pistols. So you can't do that. But what you want to do is go towards the gate where the dogs are barking, or just one dog, and press the triangle to get through it. As well as, well, it's going to say combos as well. As well as you can use the pistols, as well as the ammo with the pistols, as well as the swords with the ammo as well. So yeah, you can do that. And the ammo with the skeletons, this is what it can do. And knock the health quite far down. How about that? How about that? Also, if you want to go for a different skeleton, we're still going for the same one. Let go of R1 and push it in again. And then the red bar will switch to another size of a different skeleton you're up against. Then you can do that if you want. Or either what you can do, just get Van Helsing to move somewhere else to aim at another one. And then you'll see another size of the health bar at the bottom that you can see at the bottom there. And so yeah, you can do that. Also, as I've got a fair load of ammo, why not? Fuck them up. As well as, if you don't want the ammo to go too far down, push the L1 button again to stop it. And you can do that. So there's that for you. As well as, if you're on a hard difficulty and you're moving on to different missions, they will get freaking tougher and tougher every time. So, if you're on a hard difficulty like I am, what you can do is possibly do 1 or 2 missions and then possibly buy some other bits and pieces that will help you. If you're quite happy with just do the game on hard difficulty and just get it done if you want. It's up to you. Okay, over it. You'll find some wooden barrels for you to smash. That's more words, don't worry about that. So we're going to press X a couple of times. So when you go down it, you'll find some more skeletons to come in your way. Also, like I said, you can use the saws. And the way to do that, keep pushing circle in and out, in and out, in and out every time. And then you'll be all good. And just keep doing it. If you want to use saws all the time. I'll show these are kicking my shit in the ass. So I'll teach you a bit of a lesson with some ammo. Also with these skeletons and whatever enemy you're up against, they will give you green or red God symbol. Especially if you want red, for your health to go back up. Just hope and pray they will give you that. But sometimes they might not want to. But it's just got to put your hope and praise into it. Okay, over it. Usually, there's supposed to be one thing that I've always discovered when I used to play it in 2013, possibly, and I knew there was a specific thing which would have been a life increaser, but when it came to 2018 or 2019, knew where it was, came back in it. Oh, this thing right down here. There was no life increaser. Oh, why is that? And obviously I thought, is there a glitch? Or is it just a little bit of an error somewhere for it to be put somewhere else instead of having it stay in here, which is what it is. It's an error that the game's done by accident. So I'll help you find where it is and what it is. The thing, what it would have been, was a life increaser. So I'll show you where the life increaser would have been, because I have picked it up before. So what is over it, instead of a life increaser, it is an ammo, R-E-P-L-E-N-I-Z-R, for me to get my light blue bar to go back up. As well as we can do, instead of using the ammo with it going all the way down, as well as if you have and you don't want to use the ammo, R-E-P-L-E-N-I-Z-R, just use the weapons as they are without using the ammo, and then the light blue bar will slowly creep back up again. But with all the weapons you've got, some weapons will knock the ammo down quite quick, and some weapons will last with ammo a bit more longer. As well as some weapons will chuck the ammo quite up quick. Okay. As well as you can go back that way when you've done that, if you really wanted to go down there. Also, what you can do, you can ignore these and just move on if you want, which is probably the better idea. And you'll find some barrels and some boxes for you to smash if you desperately want to have some fun smashing things. As well as, this is where it's going to say finisher modes, which is what I said before, the finisher slots, with those things to knock enemies' health all the way down, and some enemies' health will not do just that. So you wonder, how do you do that? Well, as it says, by tapping R2, which is what it's going to ask you to do. R1 and R2, and don't forget, what I'm going to do is show you what it does and how it works. Watch the skeleton. It's got a purple colour and it's sparkling white or a red colour, and then eventually the health will just drop all the way down as quick as you might have thought. Oi! Don't you kick my fucking shit in the ass. Oh, you're pissing me off. Get the fuck out of it. Pinning me in. Also, you better give me fucking red. But it's not time for me to use a life R-E-P-L-E-N-I-Z-R right now. Especially showing people how to complete it without even using any of that. Especially if you're on hard difficulty. It should be a piece of piss, don't you think? Okay, give me some of that. Oh, there! Walk straight into that, that was stupid. So yeah, whenever you walk towards any of the red or green, they will go straight into your squares or in the middle of your health bar, whatever size you had, and it'll just go straight up. Also, I think what we'll do is possibly move ahead a little bit more, and then we'll leave it for today, I think. Right, anyway, so for now, what we're going to do is move on. When you jump down it, you'll alert some more skeletons to come in your way. So what you can do is just jump out of the way and get back out if you want. If you want to kill some fucking skeletons, then give them mercy. Also, you'll find some barrels and boxes around it for you to smash. Also, don't forget about the enemies that can knock your health down. What you can do is avoid them by pushing L3 towards the directions you want to go to, as well as you'll find some boxes, some barrels tucked in this corner, and some 2 other boxes over here for you to get some more green if you want. As well as when you move ahead, you'll alert some more skeletons for you to kill if you want. Also, what I'm going to do is run away and get this game to save itself with a thing on the corner. As well as when you do go over it, usually on that table you would have found a weapon, but that is for next time for you to know what is the weapon. So if you've already seen the recordings, you know exactly what weapon you're going to get. So yeah, next time we will do some more. Take care.